some reason, you're listening to Hoppothetically. Enjoy. Welcome back, Hoppothetically, episode 28 with Nick Big and Nathan Big.
Can I just call you Big Nick?
No.
Why not?
You can't call me anything. And you also can't look at me.
I don't look at you.
Those are the new, right?
Yeah, I never looked at you. Don't even. Yeah, so Big, Nick Big.
Nick Big, Nathan Big. Notice the difference in pauses. As if to say, is Nathan big? Fine. He looks like he needs this. I think I might start, once I get the podcast equipment, I'm going to start doing a solo podcast for a Patreon called Nicky Treadmill.
Is your nickname based on the activity you're doing?
No.
There's no correlation between Nicky Treadmill and I do a podcast on a treadmill.
No, I'm not going to be on a treadmill. It's just called Nicky Treadmill.
I feel like
and Nick Big has nothing to do with my enormous penis that is out right now. That's also totally incidental.
I feel like don't give me enough credit because I am constantly staring at my brother's genitals while trying to do a podcast, which it's really good on me how good my composure is.
Don't act like it's not your muse.
Yeah, within the folds of your balls, I find the most intriguing ideas.
Like a palm reader.
I'm a ball
like
reader.
A fortune teller. That would be a fun. I'm a new kind of fortune teller. Yep. If there was someone who was a fortune teller who read the folds of your balls, wouldn't you be like, well, I'm probably getting a better fortune than the hand? I mean,
there's like stronger lines and you can really get in them. I imagine the ability to really get in there changes things. And at worst case scenario, you get a great ball fondling. There's no downside.
What's my fortune? They're like, you are full of cum. Like, well, that's not really a fortune. Later, you won't be.
I even think if they could just tell me how much cum was currently in my balls by grabbing my balls, I would still go and pay for that.
Or if they just grabbed my balls and squeezed really hard until I asked them not to, and then they kept going, and then they put some things in my butt.
I think that service exists.
It's like $350. You got to travel to somewhere, New Jersey. But yeah, I mean,
Afterwards, do you ask the fortune or do you?
No, I'm not allowed to talk. I have a ball gag in my mouth.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, little bitch subs don't talk.
And you picked Nick Big?
Not when I'm in New Jersey. When I'm in New Jersey, it's Little Nicole. All right, should we get to the questions?
You know that fact about how 80% of
this is about to be racist, huh?
No.
So look, it's just the facts. I don't decide them. What am I going to lie? I just report them. All right, let's hear your racist fact.
Okay, you know how the fact about how 80% of dust is human skin? What if out of 80% of dust and all dust is actually my skin?
It's all Nathan's skin.
Yeah, it's everywhere is my skin. And also another fact is your actually concentration of skin to dust is actually higher in your bed. So
we're spooning.
In a sense, I kind of hoped that's how people would see it, that I'm with them all the time and then I'm hugging them and they're breathing me in.
So you're saying we could solve dust by just taking you to Guantanamo Bay?
I mean, that's one. There's always going to be another Nathan. That's the thing. You can't end me. I'm not really a person. I'm a concept.
That's why they call you Nathan Big, because you're bigger than Nathan. The full nickname is Nathan Bigger Than Nathan.
Yeah. And if you're wondering how bad my dandruff is, horrible. To get it everywhere.
That's the thing. You have such psoriasis that I think people maybe already, when they look at you, assume you are the cause of most of the dust in their life.
The idea.
So you're in Guantanamo Bay
and I'm getting dust everywhere.
You're getting dust everywhere. And
maybe that's the punishment for all the other. They stop torturing them and they just leave them with all the dust that I'm going to create.
How much torturing would it take for you to renounce Muhammad and his teachings?
Is hell that bad?
I don't know about Muslim hell. Maybe Muslim hell is you just have to have sex with whores, but they think it's bad. But then you start and you're like, actually, this is far superior. If you had to pick between Christian hell and Muslim hell, which would you pick? And does that make you racist? If I was like, I think I'd prefer Christian hell just because it's familiar.
Well, I would prefer Christian hell because I don't want to hang out with Christians that much. I know Christian hell does not have Christians in it.
Muslim hell would be super Christian and Christian hell would be super Jewish.
Yeah, I think what would you pick? Christian or Muslim hell?
Probably heaven. More of a heaven guy.
Christian or Muslim heaven then?
Christian heaven.
Why?
Because it's real and because they have harps. Muslim heaven, they play electric guitar and I think that's a bit much.
Cool.
And they're sober. They play sober electric guitar. How weird is that? Is it weird? I'm not really sure. What if that's what happened in Christian heaven or in Catholicism? You're not supposed to masturbate. It's a sin. And that's all heaven is they're like, all right, you can masturbate.
You can finally do it. You can't go to hell now. You're in heaven.
You just go for it, man. And they just edge for all eternity. And heaven's not even, people think it's clouds, but it's not. It's just covered in cum.
Jesus. Okay. Next, either do more my skin.
Right. Your skin. So you are the cause of all of the dust. You're giving people allergies. Kind of an interesting, if you knew you were giving people allergies, it's like, it's not that big of a deal, but you affect a lot of people.
Would I go to prison?
I already told you, you'd go to Guantanamo Bay. They make you do weird, like naked cheerleading with all the other prisoners or whatever they do. It's like weird. They like rub pork on them and stuff. It's really weird.
Yeah, it's really gay. Like, I didn't realize how much.
All of their tortures seem like we wrote them.
Yeah.
They seem like they watched Hoppothetically and they were like, oh, let's rub sausages on this guy's taint so he doesn't go to heaven.
Do you think you want to be the guy that pitches those?
I'm guessing most of them get rubber stamped. I don't think there's a ton of notes.
What if it's really hard? Like, people are like, okay, I'm going to tase their nuts and then I'm going to do this. And they're like, that's actually really a derivative of this other kind of torture. You should be more original.
Yeah, we don't see how that's not really in line with our voice as Guantanamo Bay.
Could you imagine the people that when they're going to one of these horrible, I don't know, prisons things, they're like, I actually prefer Guantanamo Bay. I really think they have a really unique voice that I think is just really resonates. When they stab my taint, I think they really I get the artistry of what they're doing.
Yeah, if you were in a torture place and someone described the torture to you, is it possible that the torture is so interesting that you'd be like, really? You know what? All right, I'm not going to tell you where the bomb is, but let's try this. Let's just see. I mean, I suspect it will be bad, but like interesting bad. What if somebody was like, we have a device that smacks you exactly on the funny bone perfectly and it'll just you'd be like, all right, that sounds bad, but also I am interested. And then that's when you give up where the bomb is.
Yeah.
Like, will you please use the torture thing on me? Because it's so weird. I want to. Not unless you tell us. All right, fine.
The thing about makes America so great is our carrot is the stick. Our stick is so interesting. People want to get hit by it. So it's also the carrot.
I was thinking about the carrot and the stick. Mm-hmm. It's not a very good metaphor.
You don't want carrots that bad?
No, I don't want carrots that bad. I don't want carrots that much more than I don't want sticks.
You do want to put sticks in your mouth.
You know, dogs prefer sticks to carrots.
Yeah, I prefer sticks. Like, you're like, that's weird, Nathan. But if you've seen a really good stick, you're just like, okay, let me put like a little bit, like maybe a twig, you know?
What if we ran a torture place where we just used carrots and sticks? And then we were like pissed that nobody was that nobody was that afraid of the stick and nobody was that afraid of the carrot. And we're like, guys, come on. Come on, guys.
Yeah. Wait, what if they steamed them?
We bought so many. We had like a truckload of carrots and they're going bad. And we thought you guys would be really pumped about these carrots and that you'd work harder. I guess the assumption is you hit them with a stick. Mm-hmm. What if we didn't realize that and we just keep giving people sticks? And we're like, dude, we just gave this guy his 28th stick. I mean, he must be so depressed. And the guy's like,
I thought you were gonna say what if they realized we hit them with the carrots? I'm like, I don't think
we just beat people with carrots. You love this. You love these carrots on your face.
What if you found out everything that North Korea said about Kim Jong Un was like absolutely true, that they weren't lying about anything? He is as amazing as they make him out to be. Would you move to North Korea? And then how would you not fall in love with him?
I think most of his positive attributes would be overshadowed by the fact that he doesn't poop. I bet he would get tired of every interview. They're like, so you really don't poop? He's like, no, but I'm not defined. I mean, I'm the leader of North Korea. I feel like you should have other questions. I mean, I'm starving my whole country.
Yeah.
They're like, what, are you eating it? Like all the food? And he's like, sort of. And they're like, and then what happens to the food after you eat all of it? He's like, God damn it.
Do you think North Korea would be like, if it was all true, do you think North Korea is just bragging about all this stuff to try to obfuscate the fact that their president just doesn't shit at all? Like, the whole reason North Korea is trying to build a nuclear weapon that can hit America is so that they stop talking about how he doesn't poop.
I think we should counter it by being like, Joe Biden has diarrhea like every 15 minutes. Isn't that kind of believable? Joe Biden, you think your guy's good because he doesn't poop? Our guy wears a fucking diaper. All right. Joe Biden wears a diaper. I guarantee you he's got a steamy pile of poo in his pants. Every time he has like a gaffe, it's because he's shitting himself. But like, okay, in the real world, like not even hypothetically nonsense. What do you think the odds are that Biden has pooped himself as president? Like 50%, right?
50 at minimum.
Like, that's a good observation.
Pretty good. It has to be, because it's like, okay, like, let me change the question. Do you think it's 0%? It's like, no, I don't think so.
I really think if we made if we clip that, we could impact the next presidential. Like if we it would be like how they put out the FBI probe of Hillary right before the election. If we put out that, like, has Joe Biden pooped himself in his capacity as president? I think people would not vote for him.
But I think this is the statistic you're not looking at, and it's kind of unfair. How many presidents do you think there's been that haven't pooped themselves? And look at him in a vacuum over the all 50.
All right, maybe a bunch have pooped once. I suspect Biden has pooped twice.
like, do you think Trump pooped himself? Yeah, but I think he meant to.
Trump probably enjoyed other people wiping him.
Yeah, Trump liked pooping in front of other people realizing that he pooped in front of them. And then when he got to tell them to clean it up for him, I think he personally enjoyed that. So.
I think if Bush pooped himself, he wouldn't let you wipe him. He would run away. You'd have to catch him first. Also, I think, and look, this is just a conspiracy. I don't know if it's true. It's just how I feel. I think Bush probably wore footsie pajamas under his suit.
But I think that made him a better leader of the free world.
Yeah, I mean, it made him more comfortable.
I think that's whatever gets you confident enough to control all the nuclear missiles. That means you got to wear footsie pajamas. You do it for America. And do I think they had little trains on it? Of course. I think he was a big fan, and I think it gave him the energy and the motivation he needed to.
All right, you're running for. You are the president, and you have to make a speech just wearing a onesie footsie pajama outfit. Do you address it? You get up there, cameras are clicking. My fellow Americans, what's your first sentence?
I think you do it straight. With how many people work from home, I think you're just trying to like with Gen Z. I think it would crush to wear footsie pajamas.
The most relatable president.
Yeah, I think it'd be just very relatable.
In interviews the next day, you keep insisting you had a suit under it. No, I was wearing a suit. You just couldn't see it because it was chilly, so I put on my footsie pajamas.
Yeah. I would. I think you just relate. What would you do? Footsie pajamas. Would you bring it up at all? Would you tell?
I would wait until someone called them PJs, and then I would get really offended. Like, I'm the president. You will call them Mr. Pajamas, not PJs. And then that would change the conversation. We start talking about language, the N-word. When is it okay to use?
But back to the Kim Jong Un question.
Isn't he supposed to be like incredible at basketball for some reason?
Yeah, incredible at everything. It's everything you could feasibly think of. I honestly think people should be more appreciative of Kim Jong Un that he doesn't go like crush in the American NBA and all this other stuff. He's the best marksman on he does not send himself to the Olympics and thank you. He's just really letting other people have their chance. He's really, he's as humble as everyone says he is. So I think it's quite amazing.
Yeah, I think one thing, if he did come, we'd have to have special bathrooms for Kim. It'd be men's, women's, and then Kim's. And there's no toilet in there. It's just yo girl. He goes in there and he fucks yo girl.
Just your girl is in the room and he just fucks them.
Better than you could.
Whose girl?
Yours.
Mine, Nathan's.
Yours. So, no, not Nathan's. Yours.
Who is literally in the room?
Yo girl. She is going to be late for dinner, if you know what I mean.
Okay.
I think you do know what I mean.
So is everybody's girl getting fucked in that room? Or is it my
Just
girl?
Just yours.
Just my current girlfriend.
Everyone.
No.
You, the royal you.
Okay.
It's like Schrodinger's girlfriend. He's fucking Schrodinger's girlfriend. It is and isn't your girl. I think it actually would be a fun thing to do as an American. Just when anybody brags about being good at something, like you're like, dude, I got a new high score. I got like 50 on this video game. Be like, oh, Kim Jong Un got 53. After like anything.
He only does a little better. It's like if you had just tried a little harder, you could have beaten the leader of North Korea. Do you think in North Korea, when they sell like arcade machines, they just put Kim at the top?
And then if you do beat his high score, it just changes his score to higher. And you're like, when was Kim here? And they're like, oh, you just missed him.
You just missed him. He was here.
You just missed him. He was really good. I mean, I would love to be like a sports commentator, like work for one of those NBA shows and just keep insisting when they're like, who is the GOAT? Is it LeBron? Is it Michael Jordan? You're like, I think it's Kim Jong Un. I have done a lot of reporting on this, and you guys are so America-centric, you haven't looked into it, but Kim Jong Un is very good at most things, including basketball. I would say eating out yo girl, but he doesn't lower himself.
Your girl. Do you think if you went to do like a shot and you screamed Kim Jong Un or whatever instead of a Kobe, people would get mad at you about that?
Kim Jong Un? Yeah. No, I think they would. Well, you'd have to educate them. That's the thing. Yeah. Being right is not always easy.
Kim Jong Un's taught us that, if anything.
It's Kim Jong Un. It's not King Jong Un.
I thought it was Kim. Kim?
Yeah, his full name is Kimberly.
He has a girl's name? No, fuck everything I just said. Like,
right? Yeah,
fuck all of it.
Yeah, what if Kim Jong Un was only the best woman? Like he's better than everybody in the WNBA, and then you're like, why are you even reporting this? So he's as good as a high school boy. You're a drag performer, and your stage name is Martin Luther Queen Jr.
Oh,
pitch me your act. Give me some lines.
You could start with like, I am the dream, you know? You could do something like that. I have no other lines, and I don't really want to answer any other part of this question.
I have a dream. I'm your dream, honey.
Yeah, other than that, I have a dream bit. It's like, I would just do that and fizzle every time.
Yeah, people are like, okay, this is subversive. All right, let's see it. And you're like, I have a dream. And then you just stand there until the music stops playing. And you're like, is this racist?
Part of the problem is that I'm a white guy. And then my stage name is Martin Luther Queen Jr. That is clearly going to be a problem. I'm surprised they'll let me on stage. The MC's like, okay, then what's your name? Who do I say? And I'm like, Martin Luther Queen Jr. Like, what? Say it again? I didn't pick up on that.
Yeah, you just start getting booed in the beginning when you do the "You Have a Dream" and it's me. And then you get booed, and then you're like, no, I'm just trying to start a dialogue. I'm trying to start a dialogue.
Because I think we look at the Venn diagram of people, of white guys that would like alt-righty subversive drag queens. I think there's no connection.
That's true. This is a really you'd have 10 or so huge fans.
Or you would get all the closeted Republicans.
Oh, yeah. Maybe you would have a ton of fans.
Maybe I would kill it.
They're like, hey, did you hear about Martin Luther Queen Jr.? Like, yeah, that's fucked up. Like, she's making $10,000 a week, right?
Yeah.
She's playing arenas.
Would you be Martin Luther Queen Jr. if it helped your stand-up career?
Like, because you're already Martin Luther Queen Jr.
No. If it wasn't me, if it was you.
What happened to you? Why did you give up the wig?
I have a wig. Also, we haven't talked about this. I'm not in blackface, right? Like, that's what I've been concerned about this whole time.
Are you in blackface?
I don't know how I could portray the role without it, but I don't want to be. That's my concern, really.
At the end of your act, you get like assassinated.
Yeah. I think I might actually just get killed. I think people will kill me at the end of the act. What would you do in the role?
What if I didn't have any reference to it? I just went up as that, just normal dress, and then I just like danced like quietly, and people are like, hey, can I ask you a question about your act? I'm like, no, sorry, it's actually very personal. Oh wait, something about like, don't judge me by the color of my dick, but by the content of my
balls,
huge titties, or so, I don't know. Don't judge me by the color of my bra, but by the contents of my panties. Then you'd whip out your small hog.
If I died on the job working on it, would you only do it on MLK Day to like be respectful? I feel like you probably shouldn't do it on MLK Day.
I think I would try to get an MLQ Day going.
I don't think people would like it. I think even that big fan base of closeted Republicans, I don't think they'd want to publicly support you enough to give you a day. People would be like, okay, just raise your hand right now if you want MLQ Day. And all the fans would just be like, no, me. Someone should, because I think people like him, but I don't like him.
Martin Luther Queen Jr. And then that's who you would be. And I would be Malcolm X.
You're more violent on stage. Is that your thing? Yeah. I'm a very peaceful drag queen. You are not.
Yeah, you try to bring everybody together. I'm very subversive.